Podcast. I'm Hayden Smith.
I'm Tanner Branham.
And we're going to be talking about some topics around the NBA today. But first, let's talk about what we're going to be doing on this podcast channel.
Covering all sports, mostly basketball, football, baseball, tennis, golf, anything you can think of. It's a sports topic.
Mostly professional, but we'll do some college. So, let's get started.
Our first topic today is trades that have been going around the NBA this whole entire summer. What is your opinion on them, Hayden?
I like the movement around the NBA. It gives fans something to look forward to because if your team's ass, you at least have a chance now because everything's changing. You're not the same team for 10 years like you used to be.
And it's like no more really, there's like sort of super teams, but now like most of the dominant teams now, like right now at this moment, are just mostly duos.
It's kind of like NBA Jam in a way.
But it's good because it's balanced.
What teams do you think won this offseason?
Definitely the Lakers, definitely the Clippers, and I have to say probably the Nets. I know KD's going to be out for a year, but when he comes back that next year, I think he's guaranteed to get to the finals just because of how dominant him and Kyrie will be as a duo. Even though they haven't played a game, I think they'll be one of the best duos in the NBA. And why I think the Nets will be such a surprise next year is because they got underrated players. Joe Harris, he's not an all-star or anything, but, the man can strap up. So, if you want, a quick 12 points or something like that, he can do it with three-pointers.
I think that almost every team this offseason improved their roster at least a little bit. I don't think there's really any terrible teams
The
in
Knicks.
the NBA.
The
The Knicks won't be bad. They'll be bad, but they'll be better than they were last year.
I know, but they sort of messed up in this offseason.
Elfrid Payton's one of the most underrated point guards. He's good.
Okay, I know.
Julius Randle's good. Everybody they added's a solid player.
Yeah, a solid player, but you could have gotten KD. You're going to have to wait a year, but if you got those good players still that are there to surround him.
But I'm talking about for not getting him, there's at least a pretty good recovery. I think the Pelicans, my team, did a great job.
Honestly,
J.J. Redick, one of the best shooters in the NBA. Derek Favors, a solid center. And obviously, they got Zion and that whole trade package from the Lakers. They got one of the brightest futures in the NBA.
I think also with the addition of Lonzo Ball, his offensive game is developing a little. With his playmaking, but his defending is something I would really like to see shine this year without his energy.
His defending shined last year.
Yes, but his injuries, if his injuries don't affect him, I think Lonzo makes an all-defensive team.
He could possibly win most improved player.
Did you see the Lakers' record without him? They were.
I watched every game. I know that he's important. It's all the little things that matter.
And also with the development of Brandon Ingram's game, I think the one thing he needs to do is just put a little bit more muscle on, improve a little bit in the three-point shooting, but everything in his game looks like right now it's developing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How about your Celtics?
I think the Celtics, they had a sort of good off-season. We added Kemba. He just came off his best season in the NBA. And his Kanter, he's not bad, but, he's pretty good. I'll take him. We got some good rookies. Carson Edwards, I think, will actually be what he was in the summer league, but not averaging 20 points.
After all that trash, you talk about every single pick. This man was disappointed with every single Celtic.
All I wanted was Bobo.
And he was upset that they picked Carson Edwards, even though that's probably going to be one of the steals of the draft.
But, Grant Williams,
I should have.
I like Grant Williams. He's from Tennessee. That's my team in college. But I thought his size would really affect him in the NBA. just because of how small he is and what position he plays. He's 6'7" and plays the 4, but it showed that he still could do it in the summer league.
The only mistake I think they made was taking Langford over Nikhil Alexander-Walker.
Nall really showed some game in that summer league. He showed he could be bright.
He's an all-around player.
He can score, he can pass, he can play defense. And the real surprise I thought of was Jackson Hayes. He really surprised me.
He's still got to develop his body before he gets NBA minutes consistently. 'Cause if somebody puts a shoulder in him, he's done.
The one thing I think it needs improvement is Zion Williamson's jump shot. He's got no arc in it, and he does not jump at all.
Don't matter if you don't jump, it's just got to be quicker. Curry barely jumps on his shot, but it's extremely quick.
Yeah, it's one of the quickest releases in the NBA.
The less you jump, the further you can shoot it.
He just needs to get more arc. But, I mean, if he did jump a lot, I mean, think about his vertical.
Yeah, he can shoot over people for, like, middies or something, but it just needs to be quicker for threes.
And also, what is your opinions since John Morant didn't play in the summer league? How do you think he'll start in the NBA season? In your opinion?
Why'd you say opinions like somebody else is here? Anyway,
I said your as in...
You said yours, opinions. Anyway, I think
So
I think Ja is going to be the best point guard out of this draft. Maybe not this year. I think Kobe White might be the better scorer, but Ja is a solid point guard. He can pass, rebound. He's a little small with his frame, but he'll be fine. I doubt we'll see very much of him, though, since he's in Memphis.
Do you think the Raptors this year go back to back?
Are you stupid?
You never know.
Not unless they make a trade or something. I don't think any team from the East is winning it.
You don't think the Bucks have a chance?
I mean, the Bucks have a chance, but I think the West has got more.
What about Philly?
I think they got worse than they were last year. They had Jimmy Butler and J.J. Redick.
Yeah, but just
tell me they improved.
They got Al Horford.
He's old.
Okay, he's still...
How are you going to play him with Joel Embiid on the court? You know how clogged the lane's going to be if him, Embiid, and Simmons are on the court together?
Okay, Al can shoot.
He can shoot, but it's not a catch-and-shoot, quick release guy. He's got a slow release. He's got to be wide open to hit him.
Got a point. But, I mean, Philly won't be... I think it'll be... Eastern Conference Finals will be Philly versus the Bucks. And I think Philly takes that series. As you see, Ben Simmons is improving on his shooting. I ain't saying he's become a deadly shooter yet, but, I mean, I've been seeing improvement. He's been taking fadeaway middies. He's been taking threes.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they came out of the East, but... I just don't think they're a championship team right now.
I don't think Philly could possibly beat a Western team, but I think they could put up a good competition. Maybe if they played, let's say, for example, they played the Lakers, I think they'd take them to maybe 6, maybe 5. 6 at most, 5, that's where I'm going to lay it at.
The Lakers match up well against them if they're running LeBron at point, because then you got LeBron on Simmons, and you got Danny Green on Richardson, you got Kuzma on Tobias, you got AD on Horford.
And then you got Boogie on Embiid.
That's a body. I'd put JaVale out there. That'd be a good matchup, size-wise. What do you think about all the LeBron talk, about the hate about him dunking in his kids' warm-ups?
I didn't see the hate about that, but I mean, The man should be able to do what he wants. Like, he's the.
Imagine if some other kid's dad did that though. Just a random kid's dad went in warm-ups and dunked the police would have him escorted.
You do have a point.
I mean, I wouldn't hate on the man for doing it, but I wouldn't praise him for doing it either.
I mean, I don't think you should be arrested for that type of stuff.
You're not gonna get arrested.
Well, kicked out. Kicked out.
I don't know about it.
Now, the one thing I saw he's getting hate on was when the kid dunked it from a between the legs lob. The one thing I saw was people hating on him because he ran onto the court, lost his shoe and stuff, and was celebrating about it.
That's all acting. LeBron's 90% acting, if you haven't told by now.
And I mean, so what? The dude cheered on someone for a dunk. Like, what's the problem with that?
The problem is he's fake. You can tell. He knows when he's on TV. You can tell even in NBA games, he'll play harder if he's on TV. If he's not, he's doesn't play as hard. Any football topics? I guess we can talk about the NFL. Ezekiel Elliott's won a new contract.
Is he gonna get it?
I mean, I'd say he'll get a contract. I don't know if it'll be what he wants. Dude is off the field issues.
Yeah.
I don't like guys begging for new contracts though with 2 years left in his one contract, and he's not even. He could be out of the league right now if he wasn't on the Cowboys. Jerry Jones wasn't backing him up. He should be thankful instead of griping for a new contract.
Do you think if he signs back though, they're a potential playoff team?
They made the playoffs last year. They'll make the playoffs.
Like, I know, but like a potential to get farther in the playoffs.
I mean, obviously, if they re-sign.
Like, I'm talking NFC.
Obviously, if they re-sign Zeke, they'll make
The NFC
they'll be
Championship.
better. I mean, I don't know about the NFC Championship, but I think it'll be the Saints and I don't know who will make it. Saints and somebody in the NFC Championship.
Always Saints and Rams again.
Maybe. I think AFC will be Chiefs if Tyreek stays healthy, and
Well, did you hear you got carted off the other day?
he was fine. Though. They said he was fine. Maybe the Patriots, maybe the Browns. I don't know. They're young.
I would like to see the Browns.
I'd like to see the Browns or the Chiefs.
I think that'd be a good
in the
matchup.
AFC, and I'd like to see the Saints and I don't know, and the Saints and Rams would be cool again, just for the rematch.
A team that really I saw improvement out of last year was the Chargers.
They've reached their ceiling. They got Phillip Rivers. He's not gonna get any better. People talking about him the MVP. That's crazy.
I don't think Phillip Rivers is bad. I
It's
think
not bad. He's just at his ceiling. They're not gonna get any better, and they're as far as he.
Do you
can
think
take
Tom Brady retires this year after this season?
it. No.
You think he plays again?
Yeah, he can play till he's 48. I think Big Ben needs to retire for sure, though. I'd like to see my boy Dobbs run quarterback for the Steelers.
He can do a little bit of both. His passing's improved. He's a scrambler. He can get out of those situations that are going bad.
I hope Breeze has a good year and sails off into the sunset. But
I would like to see.
because I love watching Taysom Hill play there. Run the Wildcat and stuff. That'd be super fun to watch all year.
And another dude, like bringing back the Steelers, a receiver that really went off and had a good year was Juju Smith.
Yeah, he's a big receiver. He's fast.
Do you think, since he'll be there by himself now, Do you think there's a possibility of him developing into a better player than AB?
I mean, he was better than AB last year. He had a better season. He wasn't better, but he had a better season. And I think it'll be tougher since they don't have Brown getting all the attention again. And they don't have Le'Veon Bell either.
But they do have James Conner.
He's nothing compared to
He is nothing compared to Le'Veon Bell, but he did have a good season.
Yeah. But he's not going to be somebody that gets all the defensive attention. Be interested to see how Lamar Jackson does this year.
See if he's improved his passing.
He can throw deep balls. He just needs to work on being consistent.
Exactly. A team I'd like to see come back and make the playoffs is the Colts. Since Andrew Luck just
They
won.
made the playoffs last year.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh shit, didn't notice that. Okay, I was wondering why Andrew Luck won. I just saw he won comeback player of the year, so All right.
Yeah. I did a sports podcast. I don't even know who made the NFL playoffs. Good night.
Who'd they play in the playoffs?
They played like I think it was Texans maybe. I don't know.
I don't think they made it.
They definitely made it.
No, I don't think they made it.
We'll check on that and get it in your next episode.
Yeah, we'll have to confirm that information.
Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl?
Chiefs.
Mahomes is going to be the GOAT if he stays healthy.
Mahomes is a quarterback I have never seen before. He is a different type of player. He can throw sidearm. He can throw. This man can literally throw without looking at the freaking receiver.
He's Brett Favre combined with Matt Stafford with the IQ of
Peyton Manning.
I would say he's got that good of IQ. He's got
Not yet.
the IQ of I don't know.
Really good. He's got really good IQ though.
Yeah. He's fun to watch though. He's my favorite player to watch in the NFL. And don't call me a bandwagon. I drafted him in all my fantasy leagues last year before everybody knew about him. I'm a fantasy champ. So we might do a few episodes combined with fantasy football, talking about who you should pick and stuff.
Or maybe just our fantasy draft, just showing who to pick.
We'll definitely have to do one episode on that. I'll give my tips and pointers. I've been playing in the league for money for years, and I won it like 3 times.
I literally texted this man and said, "All right, my fantasy draft is here. Who do I draft?" It's how good he is.
I used to watch those fantasy football shows on NFL Network every day when I got home from school. But they need to make fantasy basketball better, though.
Yeah, it's just I don't like the system and how how it works.
That's why if you do my idea of having a 30 game season in the NBA or 20 something like that, or you play 60 game. I don't know. He plays his team twice.
Don't even know his own idea, everybody.
There's less games, but you play like weekly, and it's only prime time. That way, it's like you only watch one game a week, but it's on prime time, so everybody gets to watch it. Then that'd make their fantasy 10 times better, because it'll just be bi-weekly like the NFL is.
Yeah.
NFL makes a boatload of money off of fantasy sports. And I think it would give the NBA more ratings, because the less games there are, the more important they are. And the more important they are, the more people want to watch them. And it'd reduce load management and other injuries and stuff. Help players be fresher.
But think about when the season starts
The only thing
and
that
when that season ends.
it's weekly, it'd end around the same time. It'd start around the same time and end around this.
Around what time?
It'd be like college basketball, basically.
So starting in November,
Except it'd be longer. It would be a little bit longer than college basketball. Because it's
So-
one game a week.
and how many games?
Like, you could do like 30 or 60. You play each team once or you play each team twice.
So think about that. 30 games, 30 weeks.
Yeah.
There's almost 4 weeks in every month.
It's like
So
7
8 months. It'd be
months.
8 months.
Yeah, it'd
'Cause
be
you gotta
year
do-
round. You get to watch basketball year round. That would be great.
And then they get 4 months of resting.
That's what they get about right now.
Got a point. Got a point.
And then you'd have a tournament. The seeding would actually matter. It'd be like one. So the worst team would play the best team. There's no conferences anymore. The worst team would play the best team. And there would be no conferences, and every team would make the playoffs, but your regular season wins determines your seed.
So it's like March Madness.
Yeah, but the seeding would matter.
Okay. Would you want to go by faster? Would you change the series of games so like the first round's a best series of 3?
No, it'd all be 7. I like the way the playoffs are structured. I just don't like the regular season with the 82 games. It's too long, and people get hurt, and people rest. People don't try their hardest. If you shorten it, that all goes away. But that's just my opinion. I mean, I don't dislike the 82 game season because it's a lot of basketball to watch.
Well, we've covered basketball and we've covered football. What do you think about baseball?
Ain't nobody giving no shits about baseball.
I mean, there was a pretty big trade yesterday.
What was it?
It was Greinke going to the Astros.
I mean, I'll watch it when it's the.
And the Astros are nasty, so if they got Greinke now, their pitching is about to be unreal. Verlander, Greinke. I saw this other dude yesterday on TV. I can't remember his name.
If y'all thought the NBA season was long, the MLB's.
Nah, I don't know how y'all watch all them shits. Whew. That's crazy. But
I mean, I watch it when it's the playoffs and Game 7, but I can't sit on the couch for 5 hours watching baseball. Oh, yeah, they need to change the rules in baseball, too. They need to do no leadoffs like the Little League does. That way you don't have pitchers trying to pick them off, which takes 10 years. And they need to add a quicker pitch timer. They need to either lengthen the field or change the balls to where there's not as many home runs and there's more base hits and it's rare to hit a home run because I think it's a lot more interesting to hit base hits and have base runners than just
everybody moving. Like, 'cause I mean, a home
just
run.
everybody hitting home runs now or striking out. That's no fun. And they also need to eliminate the shifts in the defense because you got a bunch of good hitters and they're just shifting against them. And they're getting out every time, and it'd be a lot more interesting if they're actually getting hits instead of just having to break the shift. That's basically my opinion on baseball.
Okay, everybody. baseball. We are seeing it coming soon.
We'll talk about it more when
Comes October.
it's more important.
Yeah, October.
Close to playoffs.
Now, one thing, this is a sports podcast, but do you think esports is a sport?
It's got sport in the name. It's a sport.
Okay, but some people are saying, no, it's not a sport, it's not hard because all you do is you move your fingers and stuff.
Yeah, I think anything with competition and the goal of winning can be labeled a sport.
Because, like, you got to think about it. You can't just sit there and type or freaking whatever, mash buttons. Because, I mean, some people, they don't even know the
You
controls.
can't call them athletes. You can call it a sport. You can't call them athletes. I wouldn't call them athletes. Call it a sport.
I'd call it a sport, but I ain't going to say there's
Chess is a sport.
right.
They're not athletes.
I wouldn't call them an athlete unless they're doing something physical, like football, tackling. That's physical. Like running, that's physical. Like anything you can think about, baseball, hitting a ball, that's physical. But like, you gotta think about it.
Is cheerleading a sport?
Shit. Alright, to all you women out there, I know it is difficult, but I'm about to say it's not a sport.
In case there's anybody who's listening, it is a sport. I love cheerleading. I'm just joking. I don't know. There's definitely not any women watching this podcast.
But
Unless they like sports.
if you like sports, dislike cheerleading, then you agree with me. It's not a sport. Another thing that's coming up in August is the U.S. Open.
Oh, shoot. I just realized the NBA schedule's released today.
Oh. Well, let me get back on this U.S. Open topic real quick. As you see, I'm the tennis guy, so I mostly talk about tennis and know about it. At the last event, which was Wimbledon, I saw Roger Federer almost take down Novak Djokovic, and I was really surprised of how long the game was. For him being 30, oh no, he's 38 now. Yeah, he turned 38. Him turning 38 and almost being able to beat a 31-year-old really shocked me. All right, it's like 7 years apart, but I mean, the man's close to 40, and he took Novak to max sets. Pretty unbelievable. But the U.S. Open, in my prediction, Rafa, that's my guy. I think he's the best in the world. Best player ever to play on clay, no doubt. But I think he'll win on U.S. Open. He is mostly known for clay and playing on hard grounds. He is not that good of a player, and I mean, he is a good player, but I don't think he really shows his true skill on grass. Clay and hard court is where he shines at most. I would like to see the final, Nadal versus Djokovic. It always is a good match if it's clay or a hard ground. But let's see what happens. I think Nadal wins the U.S. Open. And then I think he wins the Australian, the French, but he won't win Wimbledon.
How long are we on this podcast right now?
I don't know. It's been 876 seconds.
What is that? 876 divided by 60. We need that's 14 minutes? There ain't no way it's only been 14 and a half minutes. Sure that's seconds? I don't think. No, that's definitely not. That's something. I don't know. Anyway, though, we need to do something like that closes out all of our podcasts, like Josh Hart does, with like 10 questions.
All right. You know, we're not gonna take his idea.
Not related to sports or anything.
We're not gonna take his idea. We're not gonna do 10 questions, but we're gonna do 5 questions. All right. So here's 5 questions.
Not related to sports, just random.
Not related to sports, guys. Here we go. What is your favorite video game?
No, you're asking me the question. You ain't asking them the question.
Well, that's whack. I can leave stuff in the comments, whatever. Alright, I'll ask you a question. What's your favorite video game that is coming out soon? Like, what are you most excited for?
Obviously, 2K.
Okay.
50th in the world, 2K18. My team. Nasty.
Yeah, until we got 50 Point Club there night by some streamer. But in our excuse, we were playing on a big TV and it did have delay.
But I'll give you more of the questions like Hart does. Like, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve. I'd probably have to say being loud.
And like another one would be like, what was your favorite childhood?
But like, what I mean by
childhood TV show?
probably Fresh Prince of
Like
Bel-Air.
cartoon.
Oh, cartoon?
Yeah.
Everybody knows this. SpongeBob SquarePants. Come on now.
Man called himself SpongeBob for 4 years. Like another one would be, I think he asked, what in your life, if your life was a book, what is the title of the current chapter you're on?
Developing.
That's the title of the chapter.
Yeah, developing my future life, like what it's gonna be, like what my job's gonna be starting college. Like I'll have a job soon, so like I'll be making money and buying stuff.
He said another one is, what is your biggest fear?
Ooh, biggest fear, heights. Well, okay, actually, I mean, I've gotten better with heights, so like I'll probably say biggest fear. Probably gotta go
Eye
with.
contact.
Alright, if you're the dude from Salty Dog Hearing, I'm very sorry. But probably a spider.
And then his last question is always, when you make it to heaven, what's the first words you hope God says to you?
The first words?
Or like the first thing he says to you? What do you hope?
I hope he says a statement that cause I mean, I'll admit, I've been bad lately. But what I mean by lately, it's been a few years. So and I've been thinking about it lately. I really want to improve. So I really want to keep improving for a long term, for a long time, and not look at this dark shadow that was in my past and be like, I saw what you did. You passed your test. Welcome here. Enjoy.
Alright, I think
That concludes our podcast. Our first.
Bringing more, hopefully improving. Stay tuned.
This is our first episode of the Sports Podcast.
Please subscribe, like, and comment, and have a nice day.